Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to whatever number cup check this is. I think this is 6 or 7. I'm not too positive. But nevertheless, a couple weeks later than we wanted it to be. But we're here. You still have myself, Andy, you have Clemson Carl, and our guest this week, because Johnny is being an adult and it's kind of lame. We have PJ from the cup check. How you doing, man?
This is the cup check. I'm from the campus
Or,
cup, and
you know what? That's what I meant.
I know what you meant.
We
I
always
was just
start off
helping you
hot.
out. I was just helping a brother. I feel great. I'm, more hungover than a towel on a laundry line, but I'm doing well. I'm doing all right. Life's good.
Carl,
It's
Carl, how
Wednesday.
you doing, man?
How'd that happen?
What?
You're hungover. It's Wednesday.
Oh, I drank so much. The Sixers started their season last night. You think I'm just gonna be
Okay.
sober for that?
All right. that's
Also,
fair.
yesterday was Tuesday. I drink every Tuesday.
Fans
Tuesday's a
of
drinking day. Monday's a drinking day. Thursday's a drinking day.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I drink on most weekdays, but like, I'm usually not hungover the next day.
Oh yeah, I drank a lot.
The Sixers made it understandable. I understand.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Sixers, I know it kind of was an under story yesterday because there was the World Series and everything, but the NBA season started up. So I mean, just touch on whatever you guys want to do. I know PJ, you're the Sixers guy, so we'll let you go first. Just what do you think of the season starting up and expectations?
So the Celtics are very obviously the best team in the East, and that's not really up for debate. I'm really intrigued by tier 2 of the East, tier 2 being Raptors, Sixers, Bucks, because the Raptors are flying very far under the radar, but they're going to be really good this year. They're going to be a new team with Kawhi, so I'm really excited to watch them. The Sixers still turn the ball over a lot, and they still aren't deep, and they still can't really shoot. So they're going to be questionable all year, but still probably win like 53 games. And Giannis is going to score 32 a game this year. So that's going to be fun to watch also.
Giannis is going to be insane. I'm excited for Ben Simmons' third rookie season. It's going to be fun to watch.
It's his first sophomore season. But yeah, I mean, whatever.
Same difference. I also think just because we're still on the East, I think the Pacers might still be good, but not as great as they were with Oladipo last year. He had a breakout season, but I don't think he's going to be as insane as he was last year.
No, I think they're tier 2.5. Like,
Yeah.
they're just sniffing the butts of that tier 2, but not quite, getting their nose in there.
Yeah, I would argue
Into
that
the
too.
proverbial ass.
I'm going to head over to the West just because I'm a Lakers fan, and that was before LeBron signed. I don't think the Lakers are honestly going to be a top 3 team in the West still. They're young. I mean, Kuzma, Ingram, and maybe Lonzo will be able to support LeBron that much. But other than that, I really don't see the Lakers taking like a huge step. The Warriors are fucking going to win the conference no matter what. I mean, it's the Warriors. They almost lost to the Thunder last night, though, without Russ, which was fun to watch because I think the Thunder are going to be the 2 seed this year. Just Paul George and Russ are insane, and they have a pretty good supporting bench and everything. And then the surprise team, or not a surprise, but the team I want to see this upcoming season is the Spurs. I want to see how they're going to react without Kawhi.
They're not making the playoffs this year.
I don't think so either. I want to see the meltdown in San Antonio just to see what happens. with
Also,
all
the
those
Lakers
loyal
are going to win
fans.
60 games.
Really?
Lock that in now. Absolutely. They're going to be so fucking good. It's going to make your eyes bleed and your eyebrows are going to singe off. It's going to be so awesome. Yeah.
Yes, I don't
They're
know.
going
I
to be a
love
60-win team.
LeBron coming to Lakers. I hate all the new bandwagon fans that we're getting everywhere, and like everyone will call me out. I'm not even a huge basketball guy. I just like the Lakers since I was little, but I don't know. I don't think they're going to be that great. I think they're going to go to playoffs. They're going to do fine, but the Warriors are going to win it all this year. Obviously, there's no doubting it or seeing anything changing.
I am drinking I have fallen for the trap. I will say I do it every year, and it's a trap very similar to saying like Alabama's not going to win the national championship. It's a very similar trap, but I don't think the Warriors get out of the West this year. I think it's too deep. I think having LeBron in their conference that's one thing. Another thing, the Thunder could have beaten them last year if they had Roberson. They will have Roberson back this year. They add by subtraction by getting rid of Melo. I think the Thunder are really, really, really going to be very good this year. People are forgetting about the Rockets entirely, who took the Warriors to 7 last year.
Yeah.
and should have won last year. Also,
The Jazz.
the Jazz
the
are
Jazz.
interesting, but like can't really match up with the Warriors. That's kind of a tough matchup. So
They're
like
like tier
those
two
three
almost.
teams can all at least contend with the Warriors. And the Warriors' depth isn't the same that it's been in this dynastic run. Like the Warriors are unbelievable. They have 4 of the 20 best players in the NBA, 2 of the top 3, but their depth has been something they've really hung their hat on over the last 4 years.
Yeah.
And it's not really there as much this year. That combined with the general depth of the West, I think they're not going to win the West this year.
I don't want them to at all. I mean, I would love to see the Lakers win just because that's my home team. I want them to win it all. But like you were saying, the Rockets, I think they're going to be sneaky good this year. Melo's obviously not going to be like that star player like he was for the Knicks or anything. But if they get a chemistry going, which I think they'll have by a week or 2 in, it'll be interesting to see just how the West is going to be a powerhouse of the NBA compared to the East.
As usual.
Yeah, Carl, anything?
I hate the NBA, so I was just kind of letting you guys talk about this stuff. The NBA is just painfully boring to me all regular season. Like, everybody will be watching it in the playoffs, so I'll bet on it a little bit, but that's about the extent of the NBA and me. So you guys knew way more about that stuff. I was just going to let you take the back seat on that topic.
Respectable. So we'll move on to our next topic. It's been going around everywhere. Week 7 was Blood Week, Sacrifice Week, Mayhem Week, whatever you want to call it. It basically was the top 7 of the top 25 teams lost, and it shook everything up. I mean, you have conferences who obviously just got eliminated from playoffs, like the Pac-12, and you have other conferences like the SEC who screwed each other over by giving them 2 or 3 playoff spots, who even knows. So we'll start with Carl. I know your team had a bye week, so they survived. But
I was going to say, this was like, if there's a way to win a bye week, it was this week. You know, you said 7 of the top 25, but I think it was 4 of the top 8 lost. So
yeah,
Clemson was falling because everybody was saying, oh, you know, they can't beat a good team like handily, blah, blah, blah. They're playing all these teams close. Like, people don't realize we take 72 people on a road trip. 72 players play the game. As soon as we go up by a score or 2, Dabo's giving everybody game experience, so the next year they step right in. You know, it's just the way he does it. There's going to be close games because of it, but he wins them. So, like, weeks like this show you that it doesn't really matter if those teams, like, trip you up a little bit. If you have that, like, winning killer instinct to pull it out at the end, like, that's what shows you're a team that can, like, make it to the playoffs and do well.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him play NC State this week. Everyone thinks it's going to be upset, but NC State's only undefeated because they skipped a game due to a hurricane. So we'll see how it is. I'll just hit mine really quick. I mean, the SEC fucked himself over, I think. Georgia, obviously, they had a straight shoot to the playoffs, even if they lost to Bama in the championship or they won Bama. Excuse me. Bama would obviously drop to 3 or 4, still be in. Georgia would maybe still be in 4 and be in, but who knows? But now the SEC is a shit show because you have Bama who's undefeated and LSU is at 6. They play in late November, so both the teams stay undefeated, and LSU somehow pulls a miracle and beats Bama. I mean, who knows what SEC team will be in because you still have the SEC championship and everything to do. And then because I'm a Pac-12 guy too, Oregon fucked the Pac-12 out of a playoff spot. The only way Oregon will be able to make it in is if we have Blood Week Part 2 and 10 teams lose in the top 25. Who the hell even knows? And then I think the last thing we'll hit on before I let PJ hit anything is the Big Ten's a shit show. You have Michigan, who wants to be good, who doesn't want to be good, and Wisconsin, who is a fluke. But I still love Hornibrook because he's a god quarterback.
He's just bad. He's just bad at
terrible.
football.
Yeah,
I just love lefties. I mean, OSU and Michigan is obviously going to be a huge game for the Big 12, and I'm excited, or Big 10, sorry. And I'm excited to see it. Would you see PJ at all?
I mean, my biggest takeaway is like Notre Dame's going to be in the playoff.
No.
They are. Like, that's just a fact at this point, and that sucks so much. Like, I hate Notre Dame more than anything in the whole world that isn't the Red Sox. Like, I hate Notre Dame, and they are going to be a playoff team unless my Lord and Savior Eric Dungy does something cool November 17th. And
I
like
think they play Texas too, right?
no, they have USC on the road to
USC.
close the season, but like who fucking cares?
USC's garbage.
They're bad. Like,
Army,
they have Navy.
Navy. That's a tough one.
So like that could be a trap game. That's this week. So they have Navy, Northwestern at home, Florida State at home, Syracuse at home, and then close the season at USC. So like on paper, those should all be wins. And they've looked really good with Ian Book under center. So like Notre Dame's gonna be a playoff team. And
fuck Notre Dame. They should be forced to join the ACC or like one of the Power Five conferences.
Big Ten, like
the fact that they don't, even the Big Ten
geographically makes sense in the Big Ten.
Yeah, but like make them play a championship game. Like the fact that they get a free ride to the playoffs, if they can like build their own schedule and win it, win out, it's bullshit. They don't deserve it this year.
They don't. And also like the fact that conferences are cool because you get rivalries and you get rivalries that like fucking make sense and I don't know, like are geographically understandable and like these teams play each other every year, so it's fun. But like Notre Dame's biggest rivalry is what? USC?
Miami.
And that's fucking
maybe.
Well, they used to have like
maybe,
Michigan and
it doesn't make any sense. These kids don't play each other in high school. They've never seen each other until like they play. And it's just dumb. And they have players who have fake girlfriends. Like nothing about Notre Dame. Their biggest fan base is like white
Brian
suburban dads that didn't go to Notre Dame. Like everything about Notre Dame just fucking sucks.
Yep.
I mean, because they aren't playing a conference game, there's a possibility the conference may leave them out of the playoff because they'll be one game short of every other team. But at the point they're going now, they're obviously going to be in. But I think they're going to get destroyed no matter who they play, 1, 2, 3, or 4.
They absolutely will. And like the only real thing that is really important to note is no matter what the playoff looks like, the only other team that matters other than Alabama is Clemson. Like no one can beat Bama. Ohio State gets the wheels blown off them by Alabama, and I don't think it's close. I think that's like a 3-score game. Notre Dame's the same way. LSU, I mean, we'll see how they play Alabama in the regular season, but even if they made it, I don't know. Michigan's probably the best chance from the Big Ten to show something against Bama, but like Clemson's the only team that actually matters in the playoff conversation that isn't Alabama.
No, but like Notre Dame doesn't even deserve a spot. 'Cause you're right. So it's going to be Alabama and Clemson. Those two teams, lock them up. Those two, they're in. But then the other two spots, we got Oklahoma or West Virginia. Like the winner of the Big 12 absolutely deserves to be in there. And then if Ohio State wins out, how can you make a case that those shouldn't be the top 4? Like, fuck Notre Dame if they shake that up.
And who's the hardest team Notre Dame's played? Michigan? That's it?
Yeah,
I mean, they played,
and Michigan, like, before Michigan really knew how good they were.
Yeah, before they got their shit together, now they're a top-tier team.
This is what I always say. Like, week 1 doesn't matter to me at all. Like, week 1, teams don't know what they are. Teams are not even teams yet. Dude, like, UCLA was 14-point favorites week 1. Like, so it just goes to show nothing really matters.
Like the schedule is bullshit. Like before the season, you have no fucking clue. And especially like week 1, you're not the team that you are week 7, week 8, week 12. Like I never had a problem with scheduling the cupcake week 1. Like because there's no preseason in college, so you need a game like that to tune up. Get the kinks out. You're going to make mistakes. Like there's no reason teams' entire season should hinge on a week 1 matchup because that's their out of conference, big game. Luckily for Clemson, we've been pulling those out against like A&M and Auburn and teams like that. But, that's only going to last so long.
Right.
Yeah, honestly, you could probably argue the only team that's actually has their shit together by week 1 is Bama. That's because it's Bama. They're top tier.
So,
like
do they? Like a week
they still
before
had
the
like
season,
quarterback
they didn't even have a starting.
controversy.
Yeah, exactly.
They're kickers.
Yeah, so you still have the little things
and everything. Like, but look, they did play shit teams the first couple weeks. Who did Alabama open up against?
Florida. Oh no, they had Louisville this year.
Yeah, and okay, but this year did that mean anything? And then they played Home for the Blind 4 more times in Arkansas and Missouri. Was that it?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not. I'll argue this, and this might be a hot topic, is because teams only have spring ball, then you have a 2.5-month gap, and then you have 3 weeks to get ready for summer and then fall. I think rankings shouldn't come out till week 2, week 3. Let teams see what they're going to be first, because you might have the fluke teams like I'm trying to think of. I mean, we could call Washington. Washington was ranked number 6 coming into the season. They lost against Auburn week 1. They played no one else. They just played Oregon last week, and now they're 23, I think, something like that in the rankings. So it doesn't matter.
They're
I think
15 still, but yeah.
15, yeah. But I think just its rankings shouldn't come out till week 2, week 3, till we see what these teams are. Because if you're some of these teams that are playing, like you're playing Florida A&M or someone, and then another team above you is playing Bama and they lose, they drop down, it makes no sense to me.
No, that's why the college football playoff poll doesn't come out till after week 8, because there's no reason that people should overhype wins or underhype wins weeks 1 through 4 when you have absolutely no clue what those teams are actually worth. Like, it's just every year this happens, and like it happens to Clemson all the time. Like, everybody acts like we have the weakest strength of schedule by like week 8 or 9. All of a sudden they're like, oh wait, hold on, Clemson's like Power 5 schedule. They've had, line them up. They have the best record, all the teams that they've beat. And it's like, yeah, like the whole season we're getting shit on, and everybody's like, oh, nobody respects Clemson because they think these teams are cupcakes that we're just beating by a little bit. And then, oh, wait, actually all those teams were decent. Like, every team should have that opportunity. You're right. Texas has that all the time. Like, a team beats Texas week 1, and all of a sudden they're like, wow, that team beat a top 25 team. That's fucking, put them up to 15 because they blew out Texas. And then they get blown out next week, and everybody's like scratching their head, and it's like, no, just Texas isn't good. The fake recruiting rankings that you gave them the last 5 years didn't add up. Their coaches still suck. It's a whole load of bullshit until you get 8 or 9 games and you can actually figure it out.
Yeah. Speaking of a whole load of bullshit, this news came out yesterday or Monday, I believe, but Nick Bosa from Ohio State, he's dropping out to focus on training for the draft and everything.
Good for him.
I mean, it's good for him. I get it. But at the same time, I personally think it shouldn't count as a year. I mean, we have the redshirt year or rule where it's four games, so you can't redshirt. So I guess it counts as playing for a season. But I don't count it as that he played for 2 whole years. He played for 1 1/3 almost. So I don't think he should be eligible. I mean, he's going to be. He's going to go number 1 overall, get his money.
If he was hurt and sat for the year, it would have counted.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm saying that, but he's dropping out of school is what I'm saying.
He doesn't technically have to go to college for 2 years. He just can't go straight to the NFL out of high school. So he's done his time. He's fully.
I just find it like I'll compare it kind of like to Christian McCaffrey did, where he didn't play in Stanford's bowl game to focus on a draft. Like that can be, I guess, frowned upon. If you're an Ohio State fan, he's kind of leaving a bad taste in your mouth, and that's where I'm kind of coming from.
Davian Clowney basically didn't play his whole last season.
Yeah. Who cares what the fans
you're right,
think?
Yeah.
That's business decision.
Specifically Buckeyes fans. They think Urban Meyer's
I was just going to say, do you think his decision had anything to do with the fact that nobody fucking respects Urban Meyer?
Yeah, like...
I don't even remembers who Nick Bosa is. Those drugs.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just good. I get where he's coming from. He's going to get his money. He's going number 1 overall unless it's the Giants who need a quarterback, and he's going to be insane in the league. And we were arguing about it in our Slack earlier today that people think OSU is going to be hurting without Nick Bosa. They played against a TCU team and won 40-28, holding
not that good. Come on.
Well, I mean, let's be real. They're the best team that they've played so far, and that's other than Penn State. But I don't think it's going to make any difference for Ohio State. Nick Bosa is going to make his money. Everything is going to be just dandy for both of them.
It definitely makes a difference for Ohio State. I want that narrative to get thrown out the window right now. Like, they're legitimately 5 points worse defensively per game. So it's already been shown they're a worse team without him, and that's not going to change. And like, you don't just it's not a next man up thing with a guy like Nick Bosa. Like, he's maybe the best college football player on either side of the ball. So like, you don't just go next man up. I don't care if these are 4-star, 5-star guys. They're not Nick Bosa. Like, he's the best player in college football. And that's a thing that is more important than I think people are giving it credit for. Like, you have the game plan for him specifically. And then that when he's not there, it changes the entire dynamic of the defense all around, which is being shown in the 5 points per game worse defensively. So I really think it's way more important than people are giving it credit for, in my opinion.
Yeah. I don't know. People are going to overreact about it, and we all know Michigan's going to run towards. He played on the right side, right? They're going to run towards the right side more often now.
Yeah,
that's all that's going to happen. So now that we've gotten all the boring topics out of the way, let's lose or gain a little money this week with our locks of the week. I don't remember who our last one was. I don't remember records anymore. I've lost money. That's all I remember.
I'm undefeated, actually.
I thought you chose Rucker against Kansas. You're definitely not undefeated.
No,
I've never lost a penny.
I don't remember it. I don't think I've ever lost a bet. So.
Neither have I.
I'm a degenerate gambler and I suck. So, Carl, let's hear your lock of the week first.
Lock of the week is UCF. They snuck past Memphis last week, but Memphis was probably the only semi-talented team they had to get past, so they're past that. They're on a murder everyone tour. They're on their way to another national championship. They have to win by like 40 every game left so that they can crown themselves again this year.
Back to back.
They're not making the playoffs. It's unfortunate for them, but they can get their own natty, raise another banner. They just have to win by 40 every year, get themselves up on that mathematical algorithm, whatever crowned them last year. So yeah, lock them. 21s against ECU is a joke.
PJ, who you have?
My lock of the week, very on-brand pick. I debated between the two most on-brand picks I can go. Temple -3 will be my honorable mention, but Duke -7 at home against Virginia. Come on, baby.
Man.
Come on. Fucking lay it on me. Duke is fantastic, and will be ranked next week.
More than likely, yeah. I mean, they're the third best team in the ACC right now? Behind NC State and Clemson?
After Syracuse and Clemson, in that order?
Oh,
yeah.
Fourth? All right, yeah. So, I mean, yeah.
NC State's worse.
NC State's worse than Duke.
Agreed.
Probably, yeah. I was just going by their undefeated rank.
Syracuse was a joke.
I'll semi-stay on my brand. I'm going to take Oregon +3 at Washington State this week on game day.
Your lock of the week is your underdog?
Yeah. I don't know why they have Washington. Yeah, I don't know why they have Washington favored. I'm taking them. I don't care. And it's on game day, so I can't wait to watch Washington State's only game day. They're going to get destroyed at home. It's going to be beautiful. And we'll move on to our upsets. I'll hit mine really quick. I'm going to take Mississippi State +6.5 at Death Valley, just because what I saw from Joe Burrow the past few weeks, he hasn't looked like the god-tier quarterback Ohio State people say he is. I think Mississippi State is going to come in and just wreck house, just fuck the SEC up, so that way Bama can take it all the way. And that's the only reason why I'm going to take him. Who do you got, PJ?
I wanted to go something weird like Louisiana Lafayette +25 at App State, but I'll go tame and just say Oregon +3 on the road at Wazoo. That's a fucking weird line. Like, that's weird. I don't really totally get it. So I think that's easy. That also, I like that that's your lock of the week, because I think that's my third lock of the week too, after Temple and Duke.
I don't get why they're the underdog. I mean, last year Washington State beat number 6 USC at home, so I kind of get why line makers are making it that.
They also had Luke Falk.
This year and they have Oregon has Justin Herbert, arguably the best prospect offensively for this upcoming year.
Oh, by a wide margin, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't get why the line makers made it like that. Who do you have, Carl?
We're going Rutgers. They're getting 21 against Northwestern. Rutgers hasn't had a win since week 1, but they're trending upwards. They're hanging in some games.
They haven't won, but they've looked good the last couple of weeks.
Quarterback play trending down. Rest of the team play trending up. Score differential getting closer. 21 points. Too much.
I over under for interceptions. Is it like 5 this time?
I mean, we'll set the over under at 3.5, but we might still want to take the over.
Yeah, that game last week was ugly. So we'll end the show like we do every time with a nut tap, just a little tidbit of information anyone wants to throw out. Carl, you were very excited about yours, so I'll let you go first.
Like last week, let's finish the game, put a dagger in their heart, let's go, man. This is where we end games right here. We're going to get really good at this, man.
So Sam Darnold is not a leader. I can't even imagine going into a huddle and leaving it after talking like that. Like, nobody on your offensive line respects you. Like, they're like, we have a freaking loser right behind us. Like, that you can't get out of a huddle and want to win a football game like that. Like, have you seen Ray Lewis fire people up? Like, you watch him, like, you're like, yeah, that guy killed a guy. He's someone that I'm gonna, go run through a brick wall for, because he's gonna rip my head off if I don't. Sam Darnold, you're like, well, we're going to have a pillow fight in the locker room and giggle, if we lose. So whatever. I have no idea. It was just embarrassing to hear that out of your franchise quarterback. Like, every Jets fan should be embarrassed that was their first round pick, that, their football happiness relies on this guy for the next few years. It's incredible.
It's
I
almost
really
like,
thought it was bad lip reading. Like, I was 100% convinced it was a bad lip reading video.
No, I mean, I knew I was watching a legit thing, like, that I clipped it from. So, like, I was just sitting there, jaw open, like, wow, this guy actually walked into a huddle. Like, did you even think about what you were going to say to him? They're like, come on, guys, like, we do this. We did it last week.
Dagger in
Yeah.
the daggers.
It was literally like Morty from Rick and Morty came in and tried to fucking go lead a fucking game-winning drive.
It honestly almost reminded me a while ago. I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago. Andy Dalton in the tunnel before a game trying to hype up his team, and it just sounds like the most prepubescent kid, like trying to hype up his friends in a Call of Duty match.
That's
Hey,
what,
it's just
that's
the
what
worst.
happens when you got a
Rick,
ginger.
we're gonna go out the field and we're gonna beat him, Rick. It's gonna be great, Rick.
We're gonna move that line of scrimmage. Yeah.
We're gonna run the football, and then we're gonna throw the football. Oh yeah, Rick, it's gonna be great. We're gonna score a touchdown, Rick.
Oh gee, Rick, you really sure I can do this?
I'll hit mine really quick. The NFL just recently had an informal meeting about the Chargers move to LA being absolutely shit because they have no fans there. They have no fans in the stands at all. And it hurts me as a Charger fan. It's really exactly. I mean, day one, I said this move was going to be terrible. I wasn't for it. Then they said 25% of the Chargers fans are in the Orange County, LA area. That's bullshit. Orange County, LA area is obviously all Oakland Raider fans if you've ever been down here. And they're thinking about moving them back, which I think is well, they're not thinking it, but it's been whispered. And so I saw this thing that said the highest personal seat licensing fee for seats in the NFL. I have no fucking clue what that means. But you have number one is the Cowboys at $150,000. 2 is the Rams at $100,000. The Niners are at $80,000, and the Chargers are fourth highest at $75,000. So they're obviously doing something wrong in LA. Moving back to San Diego and just build a new stadium. That's all I have
Don't
to
you
say.
think that they're gonna wait till Oakland leaves to see how that adjusts?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're obviously not going to move, I think, until at least the stadium's built for the Rams and Chargers, that huge-ass one. But they need to move back. They have no fans, and it just hurts me every single game at StubHub Center when they played the Chiefs. It was all red.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I'm also speaking of the Raiders, I'm 100% convinced that when the Raiders move, every Raiders fan also moves with them. Just to be close to the Raiders.
You're saying like they're just gonna pick up. And
It's going to be a complete migration. It's going to be like the Trail of Tears.
It's
that
where
every
they
Raiders
belong,
fan just
like,
follows them.
Most Raiders fans live in the casino when it's not football season. Like, I think it's what they do. They just
They might
come
actually
back
just
game day,
declare their permanent residence at the casino, just like sleep under a slot machine,
yeah,
and then wait for Sunday.
they're like
There's no
Canadian
windows.
geese, but they're the Las Vegas Raiders. They go back and forth whenever it gets cold.
PJ, what do you got?
In honor of the first NBA regular season game beginning, and in honor of Kyrie Irving having a really shitty first game, which is music to my fucking ears, I'm going to bring light to it's probably my biggest hill. My second biggest hill being J. Cole is a fucking shit rapper and not top 25 alive right now. Second would be Kyrie is unbelievably overrated. And this is the depth of this take. I really go deep into this take, and I really blow myself out of being credible with how absurd the take is. But Kyrie Irving is not one of the 5 most important players on the Boston Celtics. He is not a top 5 point guard. Yeah, you heard me. It's ridiculous, but I don't give a shit.
Not even one of the top 5 on the Celtics.
He's not one of the 5 most important players on the Celtics. No, you
Wow,
saw it all last
scorching.
season. They could have easily won the East without him. Like, they took LeBron to 7. So
My laptop battery just started dying rapidly. It's scorching.
oh yeah, it's just too hot, and I know that, and it's absurd. But
Gordon
Horford,
Hayward's ankle is
Gordo,
higher than him.
Gordon Hayward is more important than Kyrie Irving. Yes, I'd say Marcus Smart might be more important to the Celtics' success than Kyrie Irving, and that would be the 5th. So it's Tatum, Brown, Horford, Hayward, and then like I'd hear 5, but also I don't really fucking want to. So let's go Smart at 5 or Rozier, either one, plug and play. He's not a top 5 point guard. He might not even be top 7.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah, and I think that's easy. And also, the
Carried
burden of proof is
LeBron to
normally
his
on
last
me,
ring.
but no, he didn't really, actually. He just, played well down the stretch. That's great. LeBron averaged a 35-point triple-double in those finals. I don't give a shit.
He made one shot,
No
and now
one
he's like a god.
carried LeBron except for LeBron. And this is my main argument against Kyrie and why I get so annoyed talking to Kyrie fans. Is because the thing they always bring it back to is his clutch gene. And it's like, okay, great. The 2 reasons he's this unbelievable player, and some people argue he's better than Steph Curry, which is fucking asinine. Ridiculous, Carl. Just shut the fuck up. Is that he has a clutch gene and good handles. Great. Like, I think Steph's handles are maybe just as good as Kyrie's handles. Simmons keeps the ball in a string, and he's fucking 6'10". Like, handles, okay, whatever. Great. He makes space. Good for him. He's going to give you 24 points a game. He's going to shoot 40 from 3. Like, wonderful stuff. Below average passer, minus defender. I don't really care. Like, he's not that good, and that needs to start being talked about because he's the most overrated player I've seen in any sport in a really long time.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. He's honestly like a less bearded, shorter James Harden.
Yep.
Without
And not as elite, not as good at point guard, not as good at passing, not as good in the pick and roll. Also, like a marginally better 3-point shooter. Like, I don't really. He just doesn't do anything for me. And like you saw it last night. What does he do when he's not scoring? Not much. He had 7 assists, yay, but like that's definitely out of the ordinary. And he just doesn't really do anything when he's not scoring. If you get a 0-point game from Ben Simmons, he's going to D up. He's going to be an all-NBA defensive type player. He's going to be the best passer in the league. And he's probably going to get you like 10 to 15 rebounds. So I don't really care about Kyrie Irving. He needs to stop being talked about as one of the best players in the league. He's not top 10. He's not 15. He might not be top 20.
And one of my old college roommate used to fanboy over him, and he came out with me a stat like he averaged 8 assists a game, and it was like a great. Lonzo averaged 8.7 his rookie year, so that's not even a baseline that you can even say anything because Lonzo's fucking ass.
Yeah. Also a fun stat as a closing. Lonzo Ball last season shot for a worse percentage than Markelle Fultz and his yips and forgetting how to shoot, 36% to 40%. Just a little fun tidbit.
I'm a Lakers fan. I hate Lonzo. Should have gotten Tatum with the number 2 pick. So we'll end it on that. Everyone follow all of our Twitters. Automatic Andy 14, Clemson Carl, PJ. What's yours?
PJ Gwip 1. And
then as always, our super producer Liam Smith. Give him a big old shout out, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain!
I can't hear you!
Aye,